Hello, my name is Dan Schmitt. I do a weekly television show called Team Chicago Challenge. My website is teamchicago.tv. We're in Wauseon, Ohio. It's on the northwest corner of Ohio, the old Northwest Territory, just outside of Fort Wayne, where you used to have the Indian battles and the British and the Americans. Quite the place. But anyhow, we're at the Fulton County Fair for the half-mile action. We got speedway bikes, we got four-track racers, big twins, brakeless, tons of stuff over in the huge swap meet. For the next 10 minutes, I'm going to try to show you all the great stuff. Place, Wauseon, Ohio, Fulton County Fair, northwest Ohio.
That's right, we're at the Fulton County Fair, Wauseon, Ohio, right off the Ohio Turnpike, the old Northwest Territory. As you look at the action in the speedway bikes, this is the long track. These are 500cc alcohol burning motorcycles running this long track. That's Chad Rawl going to pick up the win in one of the scratch heats. They ran scratch heats and then final. Dan White came back and won this scratch heat. He's also on a long track bike, 500cc, running this long track, cushion track. And then in the final, the top 4 point earners made the final. Jumping out front is Chad Rawl. Chad Rawl who won the state championship last year. This is the state championship long track race, Wauseon, Ohio. Chad Rawl running first. Dan White is running second. Steve Brinker running third, and Michael Palin running fourth. But it is Chad Rawl, Ohio resident, running in the championship and picking up the win. He is the Ohio State long track champion. Next up, as we see, 500 class. It is Merle Wirtz on that twin Triumph up front, right behind him. Gene Atherton also on a Triumph. But Merle Wirtz, he works on these bikes, he puts them together. He's been racing flat track for over 40 years. He's a genuine go-fast. Merle Wirtz goes on to pick up the win in the first heat race, 2 heat races, 500 brakeless. This is what they raced in the late 50s through the 60s. 500 twins, overhead valve against side valve. Now we're in the second heat race. It's Danny Veranda is battling out there with Andy McRoberts. Andy McRoberts is on a 500 single Royal Enfield. But making the move, it's Danny Brandon. Now he's on a Harley Flathead, Harley Twin. And that's one of the bikes that ran. Flathead could run 750s. 500s were overhead valve. They were limited to 500cc singles and twins. But watch this classic move as Danny Brandon runs the outside line, squares off the corner, and goes on and picks up the win in the second 500 foot shift class. He's got a tank shift Harley, but he's going good in the final event. Danny Veranda, Merle Wirtz, Andy McRoberts, Gene Atherton, Chad Rawl. But up front, it is Danny Veranda. He's on that Harley. He's out of Wisconsin. Merle Wirtz is out of Michigan. You got Andy McRoberts, he's also on Michigan, so you got a Harley-Davidson 750 twin flathead ahead of a twin Triumph overhead valve, and Andy McRoberts on that Royal Enfield single cylinder with overhead valve. Danny Brandon would not be denied as he goes on to pick up the win over Merle Wirtz. Andy McRoberts finishes third, Gene Atherton finishes fourth. Merle Wirtz trying to get by. Andy McRoberts is moving up on that Royal Enfield, but in the end, Danny Veranda, top dog. Now the match race. This is a classic match race. This is Chad Rawl, the son of Ronnie Rawl, taking on George Roeder. George Roeder, who won national championships on a Harley. He's on a side valve, tank shift, Indian. Chad Raw's on a Harley Davidson. These are the sons of the legend George Roeder, who almost was the national champ in '67. This is his son, George Roeder, Ronnie Raw's son, Chad Rawl, the sons of the legend. photo finish at the end. On the outside, that is George Roder. On the inside, Chad Rawl. Chad Rawl sticking the wheel. It's a photo finish in the match race. Besides the motorcycle racing, it's a huge swap meet. The AMCA is honoring Excelsior Hendersons at this event. So there's a good number of bikes, 4-cylinders, twins. These bikes were built in the teens, the 20s, through the Depression. Schmitt bicycle put it together. Excelsior Henderson, as we look at this experimental 6-cylinder. And a couple interesting guys I talked to include Mike Melling, Dale Waxler, and Mark Medowski.
The things that I do are totally historically accurate. I have the original garment and I copy them, stitch for stitch, pattern for pattern. There are two businesses here. One is Golden Age Motorcycle, and the second business is called Buffalo Runner Boot Company. We provide the boots for the movie industry. If you ever watch the movie Tombstone, every single boot in that movie and on those cowboys were provided by us for the movie industry. And
it's a 1915 Harley Davidson with a front brake and an extra gas tank. Who owns this bike?
Yeah, Dale Wauseon here from Wheels Through Time, and this is the 1915 Harley I rode in the motorcycle Cannonball from Kitty Hawk, North Carolina to Santa Monica, California. It's a 3,294-mile race. 43 guys signed up. There's a bunch of the guys here, and this is kind of my everyday rider now. 1915 Harley, extra fuel tank on the back.
I see that.
This thing goes like a rocket. 3,294 miles. It was a 16-day ride. Kitty Hawk to Santa Monica, 150 to 300 miles a day.
Is that following 40 across or 80
No, we
across?
took all 2-lane roads.
All 2-lane roads,
yeah,
huh?
John Klassen was the rally master and set up a great route cross country. And that's my everyday bike, man.
A brand new knucklehead Harley Davidson, and it's being raffled off. Let's talk to Mark Medowski.
Mark Medowski with the National Motorcycle Museum in Anamosa, Iowa. Every year we build a brand new motorcycle from the J&P parts catalog and we raffle it off. This machine is a 1947 knuckle replica. It's got a V-twin frame, Baker 4-speed, belt primary, electric start, even a disc brake in the back, this leather saddlebag. So it's got that really good 47 knuckle look to it, but it's all brand new, electronic ignition, good carburetor. You can ride it coast to coast. Great machine. You can get a chance to win it for only $5, or if you want to spend $25, you can get 6 chances to win it. And we draw the winner December 30th, 2011. Could be you, so sign up now.
Now check out that raffle, the National Motorcycle Museum, Anamosa, Iowa. Check it out. And now, the most popular event of the day, 4-track racers. These bikes were built in the 19-teens into the 20s. Some pre-teen bikes are out there. 13 bikes made the program. Harley Davidson, Pope, Excelsior, Indian jumping out front on the Harley Davidson. It is Carl Estes. Now these bikes make a rolling start, no clutch. Carl Estes is up front. Pusherman Racing, that's the name of his team. Looks like Matt Waxler from Maggie Valley. Wheels Through Time Museum running second. John Rhodes, Michael Lane, and moving up there. Michael Gregorian, Big Jesus, is also in this event. It's Carl Estes. He is flying. A great battle developed for second place. Matt Waxler, John Rhodes, and Michael Lane battling out a Harley Davidson Excelsior, another Harley Davidson number 22, 21, and 25 is Carl Estes, number 52 on that JD, starts to run away from the field. The battle for second comes down to Matt Wexler. Wheels Through Time finished second. John Rhodes finished third. Michael Lane is fourth, and Michael Gregoria with the Pusherman team on the other JD. The Big Jesus JD finished in 5th place. 4-track racers, Wauseon, Ohio. Now it's time for the Open Amateur. I get left on the line. My bike was not in gear. I'm having trouble shifting it. I finally come off the line. My 750 Triumph Trackmaster frame, 1967 engine. I finally get it shift up to 4th gear and I take off After the pack, this is the largest group of riders out there. Bike sounds like it's running A-OK now as I go on to try to get by some of this field. See if I can move myself up, finish in the top 5 maybe if I stay on the gas. Let me see if I can get around these bikes. I'm going to take that outside line up by the hay bales. 19 bikes in this final, 3 rows, 6 man in each row as I'm making my way past a bunch more bikes. I get by Steve Hellman, Terry Higgins, Larry Stoll, Adam Carrion, but up front, Aaron Long on the Yamaha is running away with it. Eric Lund on the Triumph running second. Joe Baker's running third in Yamaha, and Jordan Baker on the Honda Ascot is running in 4th place. I'm making by a few more bikes. I want to show you what the track looks like. My Triumph motorcycle. Either love it or you hate it. It's just like a good female. One day it's great, the next day, I love my Triumph, and some days my Triumph loves me. Not today, as it starts running on 1 cylinder again. And that's it. My helmet cam, the Team Chicago helmet cam, Wauseon, Fulton County Fair, right off the turnpike in the Northwest Territory of Ohio. And the final race we're going to look at, Open Pro, jumping out front. It's Steve Casson on the 750 Yamaha. Right with him, it looks like that Merle Works right up there. He's on a 750 Triumph. Also up there is Jack Warren from Millington, Michigan. He's a genuine go-fast. He's on a Triumph. Eric Lund is right up there also. Steve Casson, Merle Works, Tony Giorno out of Wisconsin, and he's on that Trick Triumph. Up front, it is Steve Casson, Wisconsin rider. He is leading at this point. He's got the hot hand, but right with him, it is Jack Warren. Jack Warren, he's a genuine go-fast. As we see Jack Warren taking that outside line, and he makes it by, and Jack Warren goes on to pick up the win. Open Pro, Wauseon, Ohio. 2nd place, Steve Casson. Eric Lund, the 3rd. Merle Works, 4th. Tony Giorno, fun 5th. And Terry Weaver runs 6th. As we see Jack Warner with the checkered flag. Don't forget, TeamChicago.tv. That's right, TeamChicago.tv for more information about Team Chicago. And this show has been sponsored by Bell Helmets, RP Active Sports, West Bend, Wisconsin.